my introduction was not that loud.
No.
You're good. You're in good hands. Erin, what I love about your story is, while unique to you, I believe it's very relatable to many that are in the audience, and certainly to many women throughout the country and North America that probably feel now like you felt 2 to 3 years ago. Will you share where you were at in life prior to Beachbody?
Well, after a lifetime of body image issues, emotional eating, and disordered eating, I found myself after college 50 pounds overweight, working a corporate job, and just absolutely miserable. And you know how it goes. You get to a point where you're finally sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And so I scrounged up some money and hired a personal trainer and lost 50 pounds, which was amazing. And I felt amazing. But more than anything, I knew that I had to pay that forward, that I had to change people's lives the way that that trainer had changed my life. And so I quit my corporate marketing job and became a fitness professional. 3 years later, my husband and I had twins, beautiful twin girls, Riley and Quinn, and then we ended up having 3 kids under 3. So there were a lot of little babies. I struggled really, really hardcore with postpartum depression and anxiety. I just lost myself. I totally lost my identity. I was a shell of the person that I was unrecognizable. Our marriage was falling apart because I was falling apart. We were in counseling, and honestly, when you're in that moment, it feels like it's forever. It feels like it's never gonna get better, and that's just the new normal, and that's it. This is your life forever. I mean, how scared must my husband have been that he wasn't gonna get his wife back? So after that, I was going back to the emotional eating with all that anxiety, and I couldn't get the weight off, and I was just struggling with my health and fitness journey and pretty embarrassed about it. And I just knew then that it was a time for a change.
Right, so you decided to choose to change,
Yeah.
and you found your Beachbody coach. What I want you to share is, why did you join your Beachbody coach, and what was the immediate impact that it had in your life?
Well, my coach was just an acquaintance. I didn't really know her that well. I mean, I respected her and thought she was great, but I was watching her on social media. She was in the best shape of her life from these 30-minute workouts. How? She seemed to be killing it in this business. And for me, more importantly, she had this tribe of women. And I was so jealous of that. So envious. And then beyond that, she was at her son's baseball games and her daughter's dance recitals. And to me, she had it all, and I just was dying of jealousy. And I love Glennon Melton. She always says, go where you're envious. And so I knew that I needed her, and I knew that I needed the community that she built. So I asked for help. Oh, I just looked at her. Shoot. So I asked for help, and I joined her community. I started with 21 Day Fix Extreme. I lost 20 pounds in 2 rounds, but it was in week 2 that I knew that I was gonna go after this coaching thing.
Right, so you kind of immediately said, okay, I'm in on the coaching thing, but then a part that I love about Erin's story is that she is a self-admitted, not very coachable coach. I'm not gonna go with hard-headed, but maybe stumbled out of the gates just a little bit, like some of us do.
Well,
share that part.
I had some hang-ups, and the first hang-up was that I was in week 2 of my journey. I wasn't at the end, and so I reached out to my coach, and I'm like, I'm in for the coaching thing. So when I hit my goal weight and I have this massive transformation and this jaw-dropping before and after, I'll wrap it up in a bow, and I can attract people to do this with me, whenever that may happen. And she's like, that's not what they want. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants this final perfect version of you. They just want to be on this journey with you. And she said, they don't want fitness Barbie, they just want Erin, this version of Erin. And I have built a business on being relatable. So after I got over that hang up, okay, I'll just, instead of showing people the way, I'll just ask them to do it with me. I could do that. So I just asked, I was okay to ask my friends and family and my besties. But I very clearly stated to my coach that I would not be doing any personal development. No. I would certainly not ever be building a team, and I was definitely never going to post on social media.
Perfect recipe for a successful.
I mean, dream coach, right? I'm the dream coach. But I did love the challenge group, and I did think that that was my way, and that was how I was going to live my purpose of helping these struggling moms. We were going to be in it together, and we were going to get better together. So in month 3, it was kind of easy for me in the first few months because I was loving this, and I just got my friends and family involved. I was hitting Success Club, like, this is awesome, like, Success looks cool, and everyone's recognizing me. And then in month 3, like, all my friends and family had signed up. And it got hard. And I remember this moment, I was just sitting at my house, and I was pouting and being a brat. And I'm like, this is hard, I don't want to do this anymore. And my husband came up to me. Is he here? He just flew in.
Miles!
He came up to me and he was like, babe, this is bringing you back to life. What do you mean? Like, yes, it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. Like, this is everything to you, and I'm getting my wife back. There's glimpses of you every day. Like, how could you ever want to bail on this? And it took a little while to admit, but it finally came down to just like me caring deeply what other people thought. And there was a handful of people that I knew were gonna talk about me behind my back, and I knew they were gonna judge me, and I just wasn't ready to face that. And he said the thing that changed everything. He's so smart. Where are you again? He said, babe, if there are our friends out there that are talking about you and judging you for being happy and finding something that changed everything and brought you back to life, they are not our people. And I'm like, am I moving too much? I'm like, you're right. They're not our people. Let's clean out the friend closet. Let's get rid of these toxic people. Like, maybe this is like the filter for me to figure out who are my real friends. And honestly, it was that day, in that moment, that I made a decision. Y'all, it's a decision. I made a decision and I went all in.
Love that. So, kudos to you, Miles. And kudos to you, Erin, for having the courage to move forward with it. So, as we wrap, Beachbody's obviously done great things for your life. You've achieved some great accolades. But what would you want the audience to learn, most importantly, from your story in this journey?
You guys, it's worth it. It's so worth it. The fear that we have to walk through to help other people who are struggling with this. Like, I got my life back. My husband got his wife back. My kids get the mom that they deserve. And if I hadn't walked through the fear, I don't even know where I'd be right now. And that's amazing. But what's more amazing is the butterfly effect of what has happened from me walking through my fear, and how many lives I get to change, how many marriages I get to save, and how many kids get their mommies back because of what I did. And to figure out the thing that's holding you back, like, figure it out. And it's worth it to help these people, because it's not about us. It's about such a bigger thing than just our fears or whatever it is that's holding you back. Figure it out and go for it, because there are people whose lives depend on it.
Awesome. Erin, thank you, coaches. Let's give a huge round of applause for Erin Hopkins. Erin, thank you.
Please welcome